I needed a steel rod for a project yesterday, so I stopped by a big box hardware store in Kent. And it seemed like half the store was wrapped in plexiglass. Of course, it wasn't actually half, but when you're living in this new let the shoplifters rip timeline, where how dare you make them feel bad about stealing, it feels like everything worth more than $10 is on the other side of plexiglass. An armed security guard walked the aisles. This is how we shop now. This is how we live. I had a conversation recently with a recovering addict who's really trying to turn things around. He told me about his shoplifting days, he calls it boosting, hitting stores all over the South End. And when I mentioned the Kent Fred Meyer that just closed, his face lit up. He loved that place. He went there all the time. On a good day, he'd steal $1,000 worth of merchandise from stores in the area. Most days, it was maybe a couple hundred, but it was every single day. Sometimes from that very Fred Meyer. Then he'd take it all to middlemen who'd buy it for pennies on the dollar. And that money would feed his addiction for exactly one day. Rinse, repeat. Fred Meyer's corporate owners cited theft as a big reason for closing that store this month. Some people dismiss that. Well, here's one guy who was hitting that store for hundreds of dollars or more when he'd stop by. And remember, he was stealing from everywhere. Fred Meyer was just his favorite stop on the shoplifting tour. Multiply him by dozens, maybe hundreds of others doing the same thing. Now let's talk about those middlemen, the people buying all this stolen stuff. Last week, Kent police arrested the owners of the Golden Steer restaurant. Police say they were buying stolen liquor and food to stock their bar and freezers. Allegedly, even gave thieves shopping lists of what to steal. The restaurant's now shut down, and they are facing serious charges. They deserve their day in court, and they are innocent until proven guilty. But if these allegations are true, they can't be the only business doing this. Only restaurant in Kent doing it? Please. This is the tip of the iceberg. Here's what needs to happen. We need to get serious about both sides of this equation. For the addicts doing the stealing, yes, they need help. But sometimes the only way to get them that help is through the criminal justice system. Jail with mandatory treatment, not jail or treatment, both. Because when you're stealing $1,000 a day to feed your habit, you're not going to voluntarily walk into rehab. And for the businesses buying stolen goods, they need to understand they're not just getting a deal on vodka. They are funding the misery. They're the reason we shop behind plexiglass. They are the reason armed security guards patrol hardware stores. That nice shop owner who's just trying to make ends meet by buying stolen merchandise, they're as much a part of the problem as the person doing the stealing. Kent PD thanked Fred Meyer for helping with the Golden Steer investigation. It's too bad this crackdown came after Fred Meyer already gave up and closed. We keep asking if we're too hard or too soft on crime, but we're asking the wrong question. The real question is, how did we get to the point where stealing is a business model and plexiglass is a decorating choice? The answer is simple. We forgot that civilization requires consequences for everyone, even the nice restaurant owner, even the addict who needs help, because right now, the only ones facing consequences are the rest of us, shopping at the hardware store like we're visiting someone in prison. And that's commentary for October 24th, 2025. You can text us at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.